accompanying your child on their gender identity journey, helping them confidently affirm their gender. Hello, dear parents. Have you ever wondered why some children, born as girls, deeply believe they are boys? Or vice versa? This isn't strange at all. It's a natural part of the diversity of life, closely tied to a concept called gender identity. In today's discussion, we'll explore two main topics. First, we'll dive into what gender identity is, its diversity, and how children express it in their daily lives. Second, we'll discuss how parents can be the best allies, supporting their children as they live authentically and share their gender identity with those around them. Let's embark on this journey to understand our children together. What is gender identity, and what types exist? To support your child, the first and most important step is understanding gender identity correctly. Simply put, gender identity is a deeply personal awareness of one's own gender. This feeling may or may not align with the biological sex assigned at birth. Most children are cisgender, meaning their gender identity matches their biological sex. For example, a child with male genitalia who identifies as a boy. This is the most common case. However, some children belong to groups with diverse gender identities. They may experience different feelings, such as transgender, a child whose gender identity differs from their biological sex. For instance, a child with male genitalia may deeply feel and believe they are a girl. Non-binary, a child who doesn't feel fully male or female. Their identity might be a blend of both or exist outside traditional concepts of male and female. Agender, a child who feels they don't belong to any gender, despite having a biologically male or female body. Gender fluid, a child whose gender identity shifts flexibly across different stages of their life. Parents should also know that children often don't use technical terms. They might not say, "Mom, I'm non-binary." Instead, they might innocently share, "Dad, I feel like I'm a bit like a boy and a bit like a girl." Not fully a girl. These heartfelt confessions are how they express their gender identity. How do children express their gender identity? So, how can parents recognize these expressions? Children may show their gender identity in many ways. Through the name they want to be called, the clothes they prefer, their behavior, hairstyle, or even their voice. Most children begin showing their gender identity as early as 2 or 3 years old. This is when parents can start observing and listening. For example, preschoolers might firmly declare, "I'm a boy," or "I'm a girl." Some may get upset if called the wrong gender. A girl might refuse to wear dresses, or a boy might enjoy playing pretend as a mom. As children enter school age, those with diverse gender identities may become more aware of their differences. They might express this through their clothing, mannerisms, or choosing a new nickname. If they share a close, trusting bond with their parents, they'll open up about these feelings. For some children, this process becomes evident during puberty. Others may not fully recognize or dare to express their true gender identity until adulthood. Parents should remember that experimenting with gender in young children and teens is completely normal. A girl who loves soccer and avoids dresses isn't necessarily not a girl. A boy who enjoys playing house isn't necessarily not a boy. These are simply explorations. Most children, after this phase, feel comfortable with their innate gender identity. Who should know about your child's story? When your child is clear about their gender identity and wants to live authentically, your role as a supportive parent becomes more crucial than ever. Where do you start? First, talk to your child about who they want to share their gender identity with. Ask them sincerely if they're comfortable sharing with grandparents, siblings, friends, or teachers. Your child has the right to decide who knows their story. If they're not ready, parents must respect and protect their privacy. However, some people, like homeroom teachers or school administrators, Knowing about your child's gender identity can help support them better. Gently explain to your child how this could benefit them, so they feel reassured and agree. But be cautious. If a teacher or principal lacks understanding or holds discriminatory views, sharing could be harmful. In such cases, consider finding a better school environment or temporarily keeping the information private to protect your child. That said, hiding their identity can cause distress and frustration for your child. Once you and your child decide who should know, the next step is agreeing on the right time for them to openly affirm their gender identity. Supporting your child in affirming their gender identity with others. When your child is ready to live authentically at school or in other settings, parents should proactively work with the school and any clubs or groups your child joins. This helps protect them from bullying or discrimination. Parents should discuss practical matters with the school, such as uniform policies, restroom or changing room access, and how activities divided by gender are handled. You should also have open conversations to clarify key points. Are the school and teachers educated about gender diversity? Does the school have specific policies to support students and prevent bullying? How can your child's privacy be protected to avoid unwanted scrutiny? For extracurricular groups or clubs, they may lack experience with these issues. Parents can proactively share helpful resources or examples of how other organizations have handled similar situations. If your child isn't ready to come out, talk with them about how to maintain privacy and what to do if someone discovers their identity. However, help them understand that hiding forever can be challenging and stressful. Teach them how to identify trustworthy people and the right moments to share. Being authentic with the right people will help your child grow more confident and resilient. So one day, they can fully and comfortably express their gender identity to the world.